All right, guys, we've got our first emergency patch, if you will, or hot fix that the developers said they were going to do after, I think, one of the worst patches that we've seen. And some people are coming out and saying, I actually don't think the patch feels that bad to play. It's not simply that the patch didn't move the point from point 1 all the way to point 10. It's continuous effort to not properly address the problem that's caused by the 5v5 roll-lock format and continuing to power creep tanks even more, which will reduce counterplay even more and force more counter swapping in the game. They aren't sitting down and tackling the game's direction and adding gameplay options. Their only answer is to gigabuff things. And that's why people have been so frustrated. So let's see what they actually tuned down today. I think, this is definitely a better step. But again, they made the worst patch of all time, and then tuning that back, that doesn't really solve a lot. So let's see here. Ramatra to start. We're going to go through this pretty quick, and then I'm going to give my thoughts. Okay. Ramatra, Nemesis form cooldown increased from 7 to 8 seconds. Base armor, Nemesis form reduced from 100 to 75. And base health reduced from 275 to 250. Like, Ram was insanely powerful. Like, his block, he's just an insanely strong character. And, honestly, I played him a ton in 6v6 customs today, and it was so much fun. His gameplay loop was way better, and you didn't have to gigabuff his stats. Those of you who have not played the 6v6 code, please go do it, and you'll realize immediately how 6v6 solves pretty much every big problem this game has. It's incredible. I hate to sound like a broken record, but you know what? When the solution is the same, I'm just going to say it for what it is. Okay, so Ram got tuned down. Probably needed to happen. He was really, really strong. Zarya also got tuned down. The shared cooldown for the bubbles increased from 10 to 11, and the duration got reduced from 2.5 to 2.25 seconds. The projected barrier shared cooldown increased from 10 to 11 as well. So, it's actually, wait, it's the same. So this is the same. This is the same change where bubbles basically got one extra cooldown on them, and the duration got reduced a little bit as well. Nerfing Zarya is kind of crazy when so many of the games I see, at least personally, are like Sigma Bapalari. But I would much rather Zarya over that. But again, it's just like I'm okay with nerfs. I think everything needs to get nerfed so playmaking can come back. But, okay, sure, Zarya nerf. That's fine. Pharah, base health reduced from 250 to 225. By the way, the fact that these are the only nerfs that tanks got are kind of crazy. They actually also came out and said that they achieved their goal with making tanks tankier in this patch. And it just goes to show you they don't understand the issue is caused by the gameplay loop of the format. That's what makes tank unfun. Making tanks tankier will never give them their gameplay options back. So it really sucks to see them continue to miss the mark and triple, quadruple, quintuple down on a fundamentally flawed format. It's disgraceful, but what can you do? Pharah, 250, 225. Sure, I guess. I mean, why not? That's definitely a big nerf to Pharah that people don't realize, but it's going to help Echo a lot in Dual Verser. So I think Echo is now probably the better flyer. We'll see though as time goes on. Alari, healing pylon cooldown increased from 12 to 14 seconds, and Captive Sun got nerfed. Look, I don't think they're changing the right part of Alari's pylon. They're definitely not, but if they're going to leave it how it is, she needs to be bad. She just should be bad. I don't ever want to see her. She literally can put a third support on the map and a 6th player, and it's not fun. It's not fun to play against. We want actual 6v6, not we have 6v6 at home, as in your backline picks Alari and puts a turret on an unbreakable angle. So she's more punished. She gets punished more when you break the pylon, which needs to happen if you're going to increase its health. But, man, they're just looking at this one the wrong way, in my opinion. I think they really got to sit down and get back to the chopping block with what pylon is meant to be. Okay, then now the last change I believe they have is Sonic Amplifier knockback reduced by 10%. It was way too good. I'm sorry, Lucio players. That boop was so damn oppressive that it needed to get reined in. It was way too good against squishies and too bad against tanks. And the issue you have is with the tank passive. It is not with the boop ability itself. It never should have been buffed. So I'm glad they're bringing that more in line. Now, this patch is okay. I mean, generally speaking, these were all nerfs. And so, I'll say this is good, except this came after a ton of power creep. So, they're taking a step in the right direction here, but unfortunately, it doesn't. So this patch is good. but it doesn't undo a lot of the bad things that they've done in the past year. Really, 5v5 aside, like a lot of the power creep with the tank headshot passive, with a lot of this other stuff. Like, it doesn't capture what made Overwatch 1 brilliant. So I will give them credit on this good patch, but they're like, my arm is still broken and you're putting Band-Aids on my leg, right? Like, I don't need the Band-Aids on my leg. I need to get an X-ray on my arm and go get a cast and let it heal for, 6 to 8 weeks. That's what I need to have happen. So I'm not sure if we should praise this or not. I'll kind of leave that up to the comment section. I'm not really sure what to say. I find it insanely alarming that they think that they're happy with how much tanks have had to be power crept. It's very, very alarming. And if anything, it should show the fundamental flaw of Overwatch 2's format, in that it's just the fun has to come at the expense of someone else. And that is what a format is designed to prevent, not encourage. So we'll see. I think there's a couple notes here that they actually had, or maybe we can pull up Alex's Twitter here where he kind of talks about this. Let's see. Hotfix is now live. Overall, this patch has hit our goal of finding a better middle ground for tank survivability compared to pre and post Season 9. Continuing to look at the finer elements within such a big patch and its long-term effects, hopefully can provide a deeper look into those effects next week as the patch matures. Know this patch is bull, but thank you for your feedback the last few days. All right, so here's what I'll say, Alec. When this patch doesn't change any of the glaring fundamental issues of 5v5 role lock, that 6v6 dev blog better come out and it better be good. I do feel bad for Alec here, because look, there's genuinely no way a designer can solve the big issues that people have with the game. They can't. He is in a more volatile position in that there's like, everybody's looking to the lead hero designer to like design the heroes to be fun in a gameplay loop and a format that doesn't allow them to be fun, right? It's like, I don't know. It's like you have like brain issues and you just go see a heart doctor or something. You're like, well, my brain's fucked up. Heart doctor, fix my brain. The cardiologist, right? What you need to do is you need to go see a neurologist. So like, no matter what Alec does to design these heroes or buff or nerf them or do whatever, like the gameplay loop of the game itself like isn't gonna change. It's not. They can't capture what made tanking fun in 6v6 and 5v5. They literally cannot do it in role lock. They can't. They can't solve counter swapping because that's just a byproduct if there's only one role allowed. There's only one hero allowed per role, regardless of the role. Like it's bound to happen. And so it makes designing these heroes way more volatile. Mauga is a great example of this, where look at what they had to do to him. He's much worse now. He's worse into his counters, but better into what he was good into already. So that makes him even harder to pick in most situations. So I feel really bad for him because he really is in between a rock and a hard place here, and there's just no way for there's no way for him to solve it. So I do feel bad for him where people are looking to him to fix it. It's like, dude, like what the hell do you want this guy to do? Like there's nothing he can do to fix this. This is an Aaron Keller issue where he needs to decide if this format was worth it or not. So yeah, I would say they tuned back the patch a little bit. That's probably good. You know, I'm not sure. I hope it works out for them though, and they start nerfing things more. Nerf more things. That's my bottom line. So yeah, I think overall good patch, reverting on that power creep. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Take care. Peace out.